Good morning out there. We are glad that you could join us this beautiful morning, and we hope that you are doing fine, like we are doing all here. And we hope that you will do well to just join us on social media, our social media handle, and then let's do this show together. Like always, today's life is a show that everybody's involved, like our community out there. We are always happy, the way you engage us and you give us your own angle, based on what we are discussing. And today, we are looking at social media, and then we are asking this question, what does God feel about your account, my account? This is a question that you need to sit down and then ask yourself and then answer it again, and then the house is full. I have Jemima Emmanuel, I have Prudence Burger, I have see how she's blushing. I didn't even introduce you yet. See, Sele Elisha. Our one and only Sele Elisha. How do you feel, being on this set again?
It's been a while, but I'm happy. Extremely happy.
We really miss you on this set,
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm Sambo Solomon. Jemima,
Yes, sir.
This question, how does God feel about your account? When the question came, I was asking myself first, why was I on social media in the first place? What was the reason? Then I start checking my activities, and then one thing that I told myself, I said, when I opened the social media handle first, I don't think God was happy with me. Personally, you know why? Because I felt the reason wasn't well spelled. Number one, I just felt is a in thing, and then I should just join because I feel like I'm being left out. And that was my drive for everything I was doing then. Yes, because I was trying to catch up, because the reason is because people are there. And I just look at what people are doing, and whatever they are doing, I feel, let me just join. And that's how, you just copy this and paste, and you push the button, and then you see this right up here, and you copy, you understand. There was no purpose. But gradually, I begin to understand, how the whole thing works. And I begin to tell myself, hey, you need to slow down. You need to check what you are doing, and then readjust. And I think since then, I told myself, I said, there are certain things I won't post. There are certain things I won't say. There are certain things I won't even read. I just told myself this. Why? Because I said, you are a different person. You are a different person. You are representing someone. You are an ambassador. So you have to think twice about everything you do there. And I think that really helped me. So I just reflect when this question came, like, how does God feel about your account? I was like, yeah, this is who I am with my account. And I think what informed me earlier was the level of the information that was at my disposal. And I feel it is vital, it is timely, it is something we will discuss. Like we always say, sometimes we sit here, we share our experience. It's not because we are perfect, it's because we know it all. But we just feel, once upon a time you are struggling with something and God helped you. Maybe by people around you, and then the people you keep and the kind of content you consume, help you, and then change your perspective on certain things, and then you start doing things differently. And we feel if there's someone out there that possibly maybe is not doing the right thing, and then our discussion, just help him. You never can tell. And that's the essence of today's life. So, how about you?
Well, when the question came, what came to my mind was my physical account for a start. Like my life. How does he feel about my life? Because it is dependent on my life that people can see physically, then my social media account, and then it cuts across every other aspect of my life. So how does he see my life, my salvation? I claim I'm a child of God. How does he see it? And then it goes down to the social media account. I think how he sees my life is dependent on how I live my life. If I live my life to please him, then I know how he feels about my life, because he is pleased. He is happy with my life. But if what I do on my account does not correspond with what he wants for me, with what he has for me, then the question is already answered. So it is an individual, personal question that everyone should be able to answer. How does he feel about your account? You can answer it straight up without thinking, because you know what you do there, and then you know what he wants. So bringing the two together, if they merge together, then you already know what he feels about you. He said, the Bible says, let your conversations be seasoned with salt, so that you would have an answer to give to everyone. The account you have, is it seasoned with salt? The conversations that you carry in the account, the posts you make, the things you read. You talked about you're intentional about what you read, what you say, what you post, and all of that. So does it correspond? Is it seasoned with salt? A lot of times we go on social media and it's from one level of insult to the other. It's like people are going competing to see who can insult more than the other. So is it, how does he feel? What does he feel about that account you're doing? Are you representing him well? Yes, it might have been that a lot of people stumbled on social media because that was the trend at that point in time. Oh, did you see what they are doing there? Hey, have you seen that? So I want to quickly open to see what is going on there. But then somewhere along the line, you got to have an understanding that yes, you can be there and see all that is going on, but you can also participate by putting in your own quota. That is what God wants. That is when it will get to the point that you know what he feels. And then I still feel it's not too late. Even if you've not been doing it, you can still begin to do what you know would make him happy. Then you would know what he feels. Even when they wake you from sleep, hey, what do you think God feels? I feel he's pleased with what I have done right from last night and all of that.
How does God feel about your account? Is one of two things. Is that he's pleased or he's displeased.
True.
And most of the time he's displeased. I'm just being honest. We have come across a lot of things on the social media. The social media tends to be more negative in a lot of ways than positive. Okay, so I know sometimes I think it was on this set we spoke about how a lot of people go to the social media to vent, and when you want to vent, you're not actually not always wrong about what you're venting about, but most of the times you're wrong about how you go about it. And if you are venting and the how that you're venting is wrong, then God is displeased. But when you're venting and the how you're doing it is right, then he is pleased. And what exactly are the conversations that you're having with your friends? You have a lot of friends. The social media is just like you get friends from where you cannot imagine. I remember one time that someone sent me a friend request on Facebook from India, and from the beginning it's like hello, hi, and all that, and next he's asking some very intimate questions that I just felt no. So I just went ahead and just deleted that person and let me not see it anymore. This is, for some people, you just continue. It's just cruise. It's not like this person is ever going to see me, or I'm not ever going to go to meet the person over there. But it's just a conversation. What is wrong with that? at that moment, you're not really thinking about how God feels about you. And you know how it is said that you live your life to the glory of God. For everything that you're doing is to glorify God. Jesus himself said that do good so that people would see and glorify your Father in heaven. So there are a lot of eyes on you as a Christian. You can't dispute that fact. It's not something that you would say, you're judging me. It's not about judge. The moment that you have professed that you are a Christian, there are a lot of eyes. From the Christendom to the armies of the devil, everybody is looking at you. That's the honest truth. You are being judged like by almost everybody. So you have to accept that fact. And because you're accepting that fact, you need to know that your social media is also something that everybody is watching. Recently someone messaged me and said something like, I saw you on Echo Television International and I want to be your friend. So now I know that somebody is actually watching me from the social media as well. This person went in search for my, it's not like I publicized, but this person went in search. He wants to find out who is this person and sent a friend request because this is who this person is. And so a lot of things that I'm doing now on the social media is open to this person. This person can access it. So that's how you're supposed to, as much as you're looking at what you're putting on the social media, you need to understand how many people. I am of the opinion of, I am of the school of thought that what pleases God is how much what you're doing reflects in your neighbor. How much what you're doing cares for your neighbor. Or how much what you're doing shows love to your neighbor. I'm of that school of thought. So if I'm on social media and what I'm doing is not something that would show love to my neighbor or something that would encourage someone out there, then there's a problem somewhere. So the much that you put on social media, the much that you do on social media, whatever you're checking and not checking, what you're watching and not watching, what you're posting or not posting, it all boils down to the person that you are. Who are you? Jemima spoke about me, the physical account me. And if the physical account me is not giving the right things, then the social media account me would not give the right things as well. So basically that's what it is.
Well, if you ask me, I think, just like you said, it's a personal question. And I think when I had an account or when I opened an account, I actually didn't think about what God would feel. In as much as I knew I was just trying to be morally right, not like as a Christian, just because I just have certain morals I stand for. So, and coupled with the fact, okay, a lot of people on, Facebook, they're friends you've not seen, and then I felt like when we had to go, I missed out. I didn't have any to-go account, so I want to have a Facebook account now. Because, there's this thing Facebook does right now, especially Facebook, because I know that's where most people are. It has a way of bringing back memories. So I was looking at the first time I joined Facebook, I was like, wow, Tana, you've changed. What was the driving force? Why did you want to be on Facebook? Why did you want to have other accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and the likes of it? But then looking at what God felt about it, then I actually didn't think about it. In fact, I think it's just recently I'm trying to be conscious of everything I post, everything I do, with the fact that the Bible said that we're an open episode to other people to see. So eventually I might not get opportunity to tell everybody about Jesus Christ. But then what I do, just like Prudence said, people are watching. And consciously or unconsciously, whether you like it or you don't like it, you'll be judged based on what you post. We've heard people saying that what I post is not my life. Believe you me, if you believe in that ideology, that is why you posted the first thing in the first place. Because you cannot say that what you're posting is different from who you are. Just like Jemima said, the fact that her life, anything I post is based on what I believe, is what I stand for, and eventually whether you like it or you don't like it, people will judge you on that. There are times that if you've ever been a victim of your account being hacked, you know what that entails. Maybe somebody posted maybe a porn or something, and then eventually, if you have friends who actually like, Sela, what's that on your Facebook account? And that's when you realize, I didn't do that. But very few people will actually take time to say, this is not who Sela is.
Yeah.
Already, people will be quick to judge. What? What was that? That means I believe and I do everything. So, over the years, I had to be deliberate. Because we know this thing that negative things trend more.
Yeah.
I mean, when you post anything that, skimpy clothes, and you have more followers now. And as a lady, you've heard this thing, they say, use what you have to get what you want. So a lot of times, when you get carried away, that's what you do. You want to post what people want to see or what people want to hear, not because of what God will want from you. And over the years, we have forgotten that, yes, in as much as the social media over there has more of negative things than positive things, but what quarter are you contributing? How much of things, how many people have been touched by something that you posted there, and somebody can actually call you and say, Sela, I've been lifted up by something you posted. I mean, that alone have been my joy. Like when I'll post somebody tells me, Sela, I really love that thing. It really changed. I feel extremely happy. In fact, that alone can make me happy a whole day. And that is why over there I have to be deliberate.
I think I've done that.
Yes, you have, and I really appreciate it. And it makes me happy. In fact, yours was so because I had a peaceful night rest. Why? Because I actually knew that I taught somebody out there, and he was like, wow, Sela, I love that write-up. And it makes you happy. So why should I derive joy in posting something? And I knew that. Because believe you me, God will not come down from heaven and tell you, Sela, I'm happy or I'm not happy. But what are people around saying about it? Believe you me, in as much as people glorify the wrong things more, but if you really surround yourself with good company, you should be able to tell if God is happy or not. Because if I'm keeping the right set of people, they should be able to tell me, Sela, what was that? Can you take it down? Because it tells a lot of wrong things about. There was a time I posted something, in as much as it sounded morally right. But it had some very vocal language. Like, Sela, what was that? Now, I had good company that somebody had to call my attention. Sela, pull that thing down. And immediately, like, it's true. It might sound morally right. It's a motivational quote, but it had some very nasty language in it. And so I should take it down. So we really have to be conscious, just like Jeremiah said, this is an individual question. Nobody's going to answer this question for you if you don't answer it for yourself. And so if you're the type that just want what is trending, you just want to have followers, believe me, you end up doing the wrong thing, pleasing God, trying to please everybody. Because the fact that it's widely accepted doesn't make it right. So we just have to come to that point of realization that you step on a lot of people's toe. Somebody, in fact, I had a friend that would send me something, Sela, please help me share this on your wall. And I'm sorry. This cannot be on my wall. Not only because I walk in a place that glorifies God, but because I cannot stand that. I mean, there are times I think I shared it with Prudence or with Rachel. I was like, can you imagine? A friend of mine just said I should post this. I mean, since we're talking about today's life, it was a pool party. And then you could see the outfit. I was like, brother, please, I cannot post this because I in fact, I cannot stand the picture, not to talk about posting it. So imagining how will God feel? How will my parents feel? How will my friends feel? So I'm not thinking about people around, and then now to think about my Savior in the first place. So over the years, we get carried away by, let me just please this person. Forgetting the fact that you have something you stand for. Because if you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. So as an individual, what do I stand for first and foremost? If I stand for the right thing, if I want to please God at all times, then it should go down to even my social media account. Sometimes we feel that it's just an account, it's just a cash cruise, it's just to be, but it's more than that. Because that is the totality of who you are eventually, somehow.
Of course.
Just like I said, anything you post there, whether you like it or not, people say that's who you are. So there's nothing like what I post is not what, it's what you believe, it's who you are, whether you like it or not.
In football, those that watch football will understand that this is better. When they said the best way to defend is to attack. So if you are playing as a team, and you really want to create that defense, that means you have to keep attacking so that you put pressure on the other thing. You understand? So if you hear people saying, that's not why are you defending?
You know,
We didn't even say it yet, but you are telling us.
I was going to say something about that very thing.
Okay.
When she mentioned it, this kept on ringing in my head. So, and I think I've said it on today's live before. Why do we always live in delusion? Because personally, I think it's delusion. You post something only because this thing communicates to you on a level. It has to have ministered to you. It has to have ministered to you. I'm saying it again. You have
Positively
connected,
or negatively.
yeah, you have connected with it. Your ideology is aligned with that thing. That's the only reason why you post it. You would not post something that you do not agree with. See, as much as people will come and say, oh, it's just cruise, it made me laugh or something, it made you laugh because it ministered to you. There's some kind of jokes that I personally feel this is a joke, so I can laugh over it, but I can't post it on my wall because I know that someone might just misunderstand what I'm saying. There are a lot of things like that, and Engineer Tony has mentioned it a lot of times. He says that a lot of memes, sometimes he has them on his phone, he has saved them, but he cannot come out and post it on the social media. Why? Because as much as it has communicated to him, this is a private thing for him. But on this other side of the coin, you have decided to make this public because you are not ashamed of the message that it is passing across. You want somebody to get the same message that you received when you post it outside. Basically, you're broadcasting. Let me come back to communication. So they say communication is that you give out the information, and then the person that is receiving receives it and understands it. That's basically what you're doing. It's a communication process. That's what the social media is for. You're supposed to communicate with every other person that is around.
You're communicating to those who understand.
So yes, you're telling the person out there who understands what you're posting that this is what I believe. So if you believe it's together with me, we can be closer, knitted circle. Basically.
Yeah, and then we get carried away by what is happening on the social media. People are beginning to promote their possessions, like what they've been able to get in this life over the years, and then their bodies. We're looking at the lady that has the clothes that reveals the neck more, or the neck is so deep and she has to reveal things that shouldn't even be revealed, and we feel like that is a good thing. Like, you need to see my body, I need to wear something tight, you need to see the curves, you're not seeing it well in this attire because it's too big. I need to reveal it a little more so that you have an idea what you're not seeing. You need to know that I own this car. Did you know that I have this kind of phone? So I have to show the things that I have. But that is not the important thing. Instead of us to reveal our hearts, what is it that is in our hearts that we need to reveal to the world on our account? We're revealing the physical things that will perish. You will die at the end of the day, and all of these things will not follow you. Even if they follow you to the grave, they will not make it to heaven. So it's just going to be you. So as you are here, why are you not revealing your heart? What is in your heart that you have known that you want to share to people? Little wonder when you see certain people that post verses on their social media platform. Yes, they get encouragement from certain kinds of people, but the others are like making them look bad for what they are doing. Why are you posting verses every day? Are you the only one that is a Christian? Can you just calm down? We also read these passages, but we're not posting it. So why are you carrying it on top of your head? And then someone else may come to you, just like Sele said. Someone will come and say, this verse you posted, you just spoke to me directly. You get encouraged by that. But the others that are there saying, hey, put it down, what is that, and all of that, you don't have to go with them, because we're not asking what do people think about your account, but we are saying what does God feel about your account? So even if the whole world would gather around and not be excited about what you're posting, all that matters is about what God feels. It's not about your possessions, it's not about your body, it's not about whatever it is you have done, but your heart. Really, what is in your heart? And you can't give what you don't have.
True.
Whatever it is you dish out of the abundance of the heart,
The mouth speaks.
the mouth speaketh, the body showeth, and all of that.
Very
So
true.
it is really
The
from
fingers type.
the fingers typed.
I wanted to pick it up from what Jimmy was saying. When she said the fact that if you don't show certain things, people don't get to appreciate whatever you post there. But I think over the years, the problem we have is the fact that we think that God doesn't have feelings. Because it's true, if truly we know that God has feelings, we'll be conscious of everything, including our accounts.
I think we are more of the ideology that he's lenient.
You get it, because you
Yes.
Just ask
You will agree. Don't worry. I know what to do.
when the Bible says that God is a jealous God, we think as if I don't know how we have the feeling or the thinking or however we look at this whole thing. But if only we know that God has feelings, then everything about you will be deliberate and conscious. Believe me, if it's all about your humanity, you want to do so many things. If you're looking for the trending styles, Facebook and all the social media, that's where you get them. That's where you snap it, give your tailor. You see the exact way this thing is. I want you to give it to me. Why? Because just like Prudence said, you have a targeted audience. There are people you really want to reach out to. There are certain people that if you don't even
communication comes with target
yes, there are certain people that when you post a particular thing and they don't comment, you go back to their, didn't you see what I post? You didn't comment. That means we always look for applause from men and not from God. Because if you're looking for the applaud coming from God, then believe me, you have to prepare your mind that not a lot of people appreciate what you post. Just like Jemima said. The world have taken social media to be a place that they pollute the mind of people. They have taken the social media to be a place that they do all manner of things. But as Christians, what is our place? We need to realize that yes, the social media must have been created. We're not there with the ideology, don't know what the words were said. But then sometimes, it might look like cliche, but then do you even pray before you post anything? Because before you post something, you should read it. Ask for God to give you an insight, and then, God, what do you feel about this? I pray that I post this. I don't know, maybe there's somebody that is emotionally down. Maybe there's somebody that is going through a lot of things. I just pray that this thing will minister to that person. You might just do it like a habit, but eventually, when you are deliberate about it, it becomes part of you. That every morning or every afternoon, you are deliberate about what you will post. Why? Because you want God to be glorified in everything. Just like we are saying, you cannot pluck mango from a guava tree. You cannot give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. You cannot pour from an empty cup. What is in that cup? A lot of people are empty vessels. You don't have anything to give. So you just want to put something to get relevance. You have forgotten that your relevance comes from God and being a follower of Christ in the first place. When you say you're a Christian, it's not just by lip service. No. It should tell in everything you do, from your lifestyle down to what you post. And that is why you will be able to have the guts to tell particular people, I'm sorry I cannot post this on my wall. I'm sorry I cannot do this. You can be bold about it without being afraid to lose friends or being afraid to lose people.
Some would not even bring it for you to post because they know your stand already.
Over the years,
you get
it. They don't even want to do that. In fact, if they want to tag, they'll make sure they don't tag me in certain things that don't glorify God, because they know I don't stand for it. Over the years, I've taken my time to tell people, please stop tagging me on unnecessary things. Because if you tag me, people believe that is what I believe in. True. So why should you tag me in anything that, if they are tagging me about anything that has to glorify God, fine. That somebody once said that I think it's high time you stream your friends. If they are not friends that pray for you, if they are not friends that give you business ideas that you will make money, if they are not friends that give you things that will glorify God eventually, please, you need to check your contact list again. You don't have anybody there. So I think we have to be very, very conscious, because just like you said, we are not righteous people here. I mean, we fall short, we've done things. And that is why we'll be able to have, the right and the audacity to say certain things that I feel this is wrong. And I should be able to stand for what is right eventually. Because first and foremost, I'm a Christian before any other thing. So in everything that I do,
we are not perfect, but we are always working
toward perfection.
Yes.
You understand? And you see, Jemima said something earlier when she talked about me as an account, like the physical account, because that's the reflection of that aspect, of the social media. Because who am I in Christ? Do I really understand my purpose here on earth? Do I even define why I receive Christ as my personal savior in the first place? Because to some, they receive Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior simply because they watch Bonnie Hell.
True.
That's just it. Because they watch Bonnie Hell and they see how
They don't want to Bonnie.
they just
It seems as if Mr. Solo is talking to me. Because, immediately he said that, I remember, sorry to cut you short on that point.
problem.
It was more like he's talking to me, because I think that was one of the driving force. Maybe that's why a lot of us have accepted Christ more than 5 times. Because they keep telling you about certain things that are provoking. In fact, I remember when I got baptized first, I was telling people, I didn't really know what it was about. But because I asked one of my friends, what do you used to take during Holy Communion? She didn't tell me. It was looking like one secret society.
Yes.
So
You have to chase you people out, close the door.
so I said, okay, I'm going to join baptism class, and that was my gesture. I didn't have any idea of what this whole thing was about. And then I got baptized. And so this is it. That was just the reason, not because I was deliberate and I knew what it was. It was after time I had to go through discipleship to know the reason why I did certain things I did. So I think, just like you said, some of us, certain thing will just provoke you to do something, not because it's the right thing to do at that time.
Like my dad, he will always say it, that it was jollof rice that made him to accept Christ. This woman will just cook rice with red oil that you eat and is streaming down your hand, and she called them. They ran in the village. Then they don't have access to eating rice all the time.
Sure.
And when they ate and finished, she now led them to Christ, and he is always proud to say that. So a lot of people got to receive Christ through Bonnie Hell, like you say, hellfire, rapture, and all of that. Things that really got them scared. And they felt, I don't want to go to hell, so let me really come and do this. The earlier the better.
Very, very true. Very true. Point on point. But you see, the only reason why we have to even talk about how does God feel about your account in the first place is because a lot of us are living either a self-centered life or a people-centered life, and there's no God-centered. If you're not God-centered, a lot of things will go amiss. You live your life anyhow. There are some times that, like you said, you rushed to go accept Jesus Christ because you want to escape hell. Agreed, very valid reason. You want to escape hell. But the problem now comes to the way you're living your life does not reflect the fact that you want to escape the hell. And that's because
we want to escape hell, but we don't want to go through process.
And that's where I was heading to. And that's because you do not understand that it is the relationship with God that you should be chasing rather than the escape from hell.
True.
It's a simple thing. If we chase after the relationship with God, if we run after knowing Him more than ever and sinking our minds with His, then we would not do what is right. But the moment that you are going after Him, it is all about Him. You want to love Him like no other. He loved us now. If you want to give that same quality of love to God, you would try to understand His mind. It's like a couple. If you're getting married to somebody, you want to understand her or him. You want to understand this person so that at the end of the day, our marriage will be successful. That's what it is with God. That's the relationship with God. It's a marriage. That's why Jesus Christ used on a number of times he was using the analogy of a bride and a bridegroom. So basically, that's how it is. You need to understand God. Let me get to the point that I know him more and more. And the moment that you know God more and more, you stand in awe of him. So it's easier for you to curtail all the excesses that you are doing. It's easier for you to begin to live like him. It's easier for you that your account to begin to reflect him. Little one that the songwriter says, at the center of it all is you that I see. That's God. He said, from my heart to the heavens, Jesus be the center. If you make Jesus the center, social media is not an issue. It will just reflect. I think she wrapped up the show in the beginning of the show.
That's what she did. I almost say, okay, we will see next week. But once we did that, you know what will follow.
Exactly. So she basically did wrap up the show in the beginning when she said that your life, you yourself, you're an account. So your life should be reflected on your social media account, and that's basically it. If you want God to be happy with you, is to know him more. And the moment that you have known him more, even your social media accounts or every other aspect of your life, your finances, your relationship with others, everything else just looks more like him. It begins to mirror him. A lot of times you're just like a mirror. Like when people just look at you, like, no, that's Jesus Christ though. Basically.
And you talk about marriage, the bride and the bridegroom. God first loved us, and then he gave his life for us, for those who believe, to access, that particular relationship. And then if you are coming from the angle of the bride, you are accepting him to be the husband, and then you have this love and submission, kind of relationship. This one is loving, this one is submitting. And then in submission, that means you have to be obedient. Irrespectful. So what are those principles, those rules, those guidelines that you're supposed to follow, as the principle or the access to heaven? Because that's just it. And that's what people trying to jump. And if you see life, this other side, they are trying to tell you that you can achieve things not really through the normal process. That's when the issue of shortcuts comes in. The issue of smartness come in. You can outsmart people to get what you want, regardless. It's still the process because they feel it's because you are intelligent. That's why you can outsmart somebody and do whatever and then get away with it. But you see, you understanding your place, the purpose why you receive Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, and then there's a process, and in the process there are rules, there are guidelines, what to follow, the do's and the don't, that are there, and you tell yourself, because I am this person, I want to follow the normal process, because that is the only way that will take me there. And then you see, now everything will start reflecting on what you do, the way you talk. The Bible says season it. It's a process. Yes. Say I'm your husband. You are the bride, right? Okay. This is the process you have to follow. And then, knowing that he's the husband, I have to be obedient as the bride. And then follow. My account, social media account. Everything that I'm doing there, is it aligned to what my husband believes, which is Jesus Christ? Will he be happy if today I'm married, I'm a woman, I'm married to somebody, and I go to social media, and that's what is happening today. You find out some men are not even happy with what their wives are doing on social media, the kind of things they post, but they don't care because they feel, after all, it's my account.
Let me cut you there.
Okay. Okay.
Let me interrupt you rather. So we have heard a lot of people saying, it's my account, it's my data, it's my life, it's my, oh God, it's your everything, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. Ah,
I came to the house.
Christian, you say,
In fact, my father.
you
What
say
is
you're a
what
Christian.
for me.
Exactly. But first of all, you say you're a Christian. Okay, I'm a Christian. Agreed, I'm a Christian. And then you go about and saying, it's my life, I'm the one who is living it, or it's my social media account, I'm the one who is handling it. It's me, it's about me. Excuse me, brother, sister. It's not your life. Oh. It cannot be, and it will not be. You're living for two people on this earth. You're living for God and for people. Your name is not even inside. And a lot of us would not approach it that way. Because if you want to really dig the teaching of Jesus, especially when he was talking about who is going to be the greatest, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, he said you have to be a servant. That is your obligation to people. You're to serve people. In no way did he say you have to be the leader. He said for you to lead, you have to serve. So there are two things. You live for God and you live for man. The greatest commandments were these. Love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. There's no place that he said love yourself. He said love your neighbor. As if you are loving yourself. So whatever you're thinking or you're picturing should be done for you, or should you want to receive, is basically what you should be giving out, is what you should be dishing out. So on a social media account, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my fellow brothers and sisters that decided to tarnish their relationships because of politics on the social media. You go ahead and you're ranting rubbish. Apologies for using that word, but it is rubbish. It's trash, basically. Something that should not be heard from a Christian's mouth or from a believer's mouth. You go ahead and rant it, because at the end of the day, you're expecting that this person, when he gets into power, when she gets into power, I'm going to get my own quota. But that's not how you're supposed to live your life. How much is this person going to give the people? This person that you're supporting, how much is he going to love the people to the extent that he's building the people? So you go about on social media and you do that. On Sunday, you come back to church and you're like, oh, I love God with the whole of my heart. You're lying to yourself. The love that you have for God should reflect on the love that you have for people. And that's the same thing you're doing on social media. You cannot go on social media and cause someone to fall into depression and come back to church and tell God that you love him. It's a simple thing. So as much as you're going to the social media, how much of it is going to affect your brother or your sister? And I'm using that word brother and sister intentionally. So that when you begin to picture everybody as a brother and as a sister, it's giving you a different picture of love. And that's, if you approach everything with the love of God, that's the only way God is going to be pleased about your account. So as much as we are going on the social media, and I know that the social media is full of glam. Oh, everybody wants to live a glamorous life. Everybody wants to show that I have this wealth, I have that wealth, I have this. I'm shining, I'm glowing, I'm bragging about a lot of things. But how much of it is going to reflect on your neighbor? Your closest neighbor, in fact. Someone very close might just fall into depression because of some of the things that you said. So basically, just watch whatever you're doing. How much of it aligns with God? Because if it doesn't align with God,
add up to what she said, the verse that said, whatsoever you do, whether you eat or you drink, do it to the glory of God. Exactly. It goes up to wrap what she said. If we're conscious of what we do, whatever it is, be it on our physical life, on the social media, and wherever, if we're thinking, oh, I want to do this to the glory of God, I want to glorify God, I don't want someone to fall, I don't want to be a reason why another person would fall because of one thing or the other that I do, it will really be a better place. If today they would open up your social media account to the public, will you be proud of whatsoever is there? They didn't take your permission. They didn't say, hey, Prudence.
Because the way you are shaking it, one leg is already breaking.
Let's go back to 4D.
Not
even 3D. 4D.
They won't even give you a heads up for you to like do a clean up. They just come out of the blue and get your
project
phone.
Everything.
They open your social. Will you be proud of it? If you will not, what do you need to do? Because the day will come where the Son of Man will not tell you, and boom, everything will just be made public. You won't even be given any time. Yes, you won't even know anything, and then all of this will be placed before everyone. How would you feel? And you know, if there's anything that is so miraculous that nobody knows when anything can happen, so we're just there. Yes, you don't know. It's not like they'll say, hey, 1 more week to go. No, you just wake up and it's time. So would you be proud of that social media account? Would you be proud of your physical life, how you lived? Who was it that died and was saying, God, please give me small time, let me go back and tell my younger ones and all of those people
he did not ask for himself. He said,
yes, it's not even for him. That please just give me a little time, let me go back and tell them. And God said there are people there that will tell them. So you wouldn't know when it will be time off for you. So why don't you use the available time you have at your disposal to do all that you need to do? You wouldn't even have to sit down and say, how would Jesus do? Because as you're asking the question, you're answering
the answer to that question.
You know, interestingly, what she just mentioned reminded me of this scenario. Someone I know, a student actually in the seminary. I think early this year, was it late last year? I think it was early this year. He died. This is what happened. Barely 2 hours to his death, he posted something on the social media. And so after he died, 2 hours later, it was trending. And it felt like this person had an idea he was going to die. But the last thing that he left, the last message he left was a message. I don't remember it exactly right now, but it was encouraging to me at that very moment. And a lot of times we are not even thinking that.
And he might not have known.
He had. It's not he might not have known. He had no idea. This guy literally left what he was doing to climb a mango tree to plug mangoes, fell off the mango tree and died.
So he made hay while the sun was shining.
So there are a lot of times that we end up doing things because we think, oh no, I still have time in this world. And then you don't even know that maybe what you're saying physically is the last thing you're saying. Or what you're posting on the social media is the last thing you're posting. Excuse me, if the last thing I'm posting in this life is me basically wearing nothing, next to nothing, and dancing on the social media platform. Wouldn't it be embarrassing when I get to heaven and face my God?
I think the question now would be, if they should go back to each of our accounts, what was the last thing you posted?
Right now.
Will that thing glorify God? You know, you said something, the fact that we're not living our lives for ourselves, but for God and for people. And I really want to put it out to people that put God first.
Yes.
In as much as you say God and people, do not put people before God. Put God before people. Because the moment you switch it, there's going to be a problem. Because you'll be all about pleasing people and not pleasing God. I don't know if any of you have observed. The moment you're scrolling, let's say, for example, Facebook, and you're always reading motivational quotes, you see that more motivational quotes will be showing. But if you're always looking for either porn or anything, believe you me, that is the more page that will be showing you. Have that sent any message to any of us? That is to tell you that even the Facebook feels that that is what you love. So it's giving you and it's feeding you with that same thing. So why don't we think about it the same way? That one thing you post, more people will be drawn to you. Because they want to see more about this thing you're saying. So are you pulling more people to God through that thing you're posting? Or are you pulling more people to hellfire? through that thing you are posting. Because it's not about saying I will have the opportunity. Just like we're saying, we never can tell the day nor the hour that Christ will come. But even if Christ does not come for you, what if it comes for that other person, that thing you posted actually draw that person away from God? And that person's death is on your neck, consciously, or whether you like it or not. So when we keep saying, what will God feel about what my account, or what will God feel about what I have been posting? It's something that you need to sit down. It's not just like initially we're saying it's a street question, but I think it's something for you to sit down and think thoroughly. This account, this Facebook, this Twitter, this Instagram, is God really pleased with what is there? It's just like I'm saying, it's like the question saying, what will Jesus do? Somebody has said, if Jesus was born during this time, will he wear baggy trousers? Will he be on social media? These are questions you ask yourself. And if he's on social media, what do you think he will be posting? Because, of course, then in those days, he had to be traveling on board, and then the people he was dwelling with were sinners. Yes, of course. But then for each of the time he was with these people, what was he doing? He was never caught unaware on anything. So why should we be taken unaware on certain things? Why will it be that when they open my eyes, they'll be like, Sele, I thought, but you're is that? And then people get speechless.
Of course.
Because what I say is different from what people say. So we are more like hypocrites. We are two-faced. What you hear is different. When they go, in fact, some people have more than 3 Facebook accounts, or more than how many accounts, because they're setting account that Mr. Solo is only there on that account, because we're in the same place. I don't want you to go and tell the GM that. Then there's another one that you know where we used to jam. So that kind of thing. You get it? Some people are like that. So you show people what you feel they want to say at that time.
True.
Forgetting the fact that in everything is God glorified. You know, when the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice, you have to be obedient to the call. And sometimes it will cost you a lot. It will cost you. Because the opportunities that you miss. Why? Because you just choose to stand for the right thing. And you just feel that above all, God is watching. And just like I'm saying, we shouldn't think that God doesn't have feelings. He does have feelings. He has feelings. Maybe we want to see him cry before. Jesus cried now. So which tears again do you want to see? To tell you that he's not happy with certain things you're doing. So this is not for us to come here and point fingers at anybody. No, but it's a time for you to go back and check. If it means for you to shut down some account, maybe you have to shut it.
What we did
he was angry. That's why he flogged some people.
What we did right now was to talk to ourselves as much as we're talking to you. So for some of us, we are going to go back and check our social media accounts again.
Right away.
To be sure that's what we are posting or what we have here is correct. That's basically it. But I just wanted to say this before we close up. That live your life on social media as if this is the last day that you're living, and also live your life all like Jesus should be the center. Everything you're doing should be about him, for him. You see, anything, just think of him, be thinking him when you're doing whatever you want to do, basically.
True. The life you live on social media should be the same as the life you live physically, because it's the same human being. It's not your twin sister or your twin brother that is there. You are still the one. Wherever you go, you should still stay true to what God would feel about you. And you should always be able to give that answer. Not, I am not sure what he will feel. You should be sure at every point in time.
And I feel that, believe you me, just like the Bible says, in everything we do, let Christ be it. So we need to go back and check. There is traffic on social media. There is. But then you have to make sure, what kind of traffic are you creating? Are you creating a positive traffic, or are you creating a negative traffic towards your life on social media? And I think that's the question I will leave our viewers with. And also, I'm going to go back and think about the same thing.
Well, Jemima, Prudence, Sele, thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank
you. Like always, I learned a lot today, because the contributions are awesome, honestly. And I hope that you avail yourself so that we do this show again together, and then see how will encourage someone outside there, And for the viewer, we sincerely appreciate you. Just know that whatever you do, you're going to give account of your activities. So whether positive or negative, you are going to give account. And I just pray that we'll continue to do the right thing, so that our account will be subscribed with rewards in heaven. That's the much we can take, and remain blessed. Be kind to one another. Bye bye, and see you next time.
Media handle on Facebook. We're there. So keep watching, keep listening. The Living Room.
Democracy is the theory that common people know what they want and deserve to get it good and hard. Join me every Friday, 7 p.m. on National Talk for analysis as well as in-depth perspective on issues as they unfold in and around Nigeria, as well as an opportunity to add your voice.